Hi, this is Tamara again. Thank you for coming back, giving me another chance, or another shot, I should say. I want to talk to you just real quick, just to tell you a little bit more about what I'm trying to achieve here. Yes, I wrote a book and I'm very excited about it, but I want to tell you a little bit more about where this is going and the purpose. The book, in the workbook, I talked about the changes and stuff that I want to encourage you to do, but it comes from my own experience. And so years ago, when I began this journey, I was changing, and the change was so drastic, and people didn't even recognize me, because not only was I changing from the inside of the kind of person that I turned out to be, but I changed from the outside, so I didn't even look like the same person. For instance, I went to a family gathering, and my family is large, and so we would have many gatherings for whatever reason, because we just like hanging out together. But my uncle was there, and he was sitting down, and I went over to hug him, and he hugged me, and he said, "Who are you, young lady?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, you don't recognize me." And I told him who I was, and he said, "Oh my goodness, you don't even look the same." And that was because my demeanor was different, for one, and I had dropped a lot of weight. And I will talk about how that came about in another post, or another podcast. But that never would have happened had I not gone on this journey of change. And so I'm telling you this to help you to understand that my other profiles, the things that I have, which you can check out, I refer to myself as Girlchanged, and I'm very proud of it. And you can find it on my Facebook. It's Girlchanged, and my Instagram and Twitter. Well, that is because I am truly a girl changed, and I'm so proud of that. It was a very long, hard road, and even as time goes on, I'm finding out more and more about myself and who I am, and it's pretty exciting, actually, especially at my age. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but even at my age, to see that the possibilities are incredible, and what I couldn't do before, or what I was too afraid to do before, I can do now, because I am a new person. And even though I've been a Christian since 1983, but it wasn't until these last 5 years that I really began to know what that was, and having a real relationship with Jesus. So that's what this is about. So I wanted to just give you some examples of some of the things that I have changed. I told you, about the outside changing, but with that, I also have a strong desire of exercising and taking good care of myself. Never did before. The foods that I eat, I just ate whatever I wanted to, because I never thought I could ever lose weight. But that changed, and I have a strong desire to take care of myself, and helping others to take care of themselves physically as well. I'm just a completely different person. My demeanor is different, and the biggest thing is how I see and react in what the characteristics that Jesus has put in me through learning how to love, and what that really is. And that's where the book and the workbook comes from. Is learning how to really love, and what that really looks like through the eyes of Jesus Christ, who is love. And we throw that word around a lot, and unfortunately, but when he dealt with me on many matters and changes that I had to go through, there was cutting, chipping, cutting, and taking so much away from me. He had to, because I had to cling on to him. So when I did that, it just changed everything about me. And yeah, I went into it kicking and screaming, and I tried to run from it. I tried to just do my own thing. I was like Job, and I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. And it didn't matter. You can't outrun God, right? You really can't. No matter how much you try or how much you think that you can, you really can't, because he's really watching you. But anyway, that's what this is about. And so in my future podcast, I'm going to talk about many different things that have to do with change from the inside and outside, from health, fitness, food, attitude, our mental state, getting brave enough to face yourself. That's a big thing right there. That was my biggest fear, was facing myself, and the things that I did, facing me, looking at the person in the mirror and being really honest with yourself. That is really, it's harder than what you think. So I will talk about different things like that. It's also in the book, but I will talk about that in a future podcast. But anyway, you can check out my information and who I am and what I'm all about on my website, which is www.tamarabernadette.com. So I hope you check it out, and let me know what you think. All right, thank you for your time. Until next time, bye-bye.